Hello students, this is class 7 physics chapter number 1 physical quantities and measurement. First we will discuss what are physical quantities. So quantities that can be measured is called physical quantities. For example, your length, time, mass, area, these are all your physical quantities. There are two types of physical quantities. First is your fundamental physical quantities, that is your length, time, temperature, luminous intensity, amount of substances, electric current. These are the 7 fundamental physical quantities. And next is your derived physical quantities, which is derived or which has been are the result of fundamental physical quantities. For example, area. Area is length into breadth. Again, length and breadth are fundamental physical quantity. Same way, speed. It is distance upon time. And then volume is length into breadth into height. So to express physical quantities, we always need a magnitude and an unit. So for example, if we say the length of a pencil is 10 meter, so 10 gives you the magnitude, gives you the value, and meter is its unit. So to express a physical quantity, we need a magnitude and a unit. Magnitude will give its value and unit will give a proper dimension to the physical quantity. Next we will discuss area. What is area? Amount of surface enclosed by a plane figure is known as area. What do you mean by the term plane figure? The point to be noted over here, what is plane figure? So plane figures are basically the figures which can be drawn on a piece of paper. Which can be drawn on a piece of paper are known as plane figure. For example, square. It has all the sides equal. So area of a square is side into side. And then next is your rectangle. It has longer side L and shorter side B, and its area is given by length into breadth. And if we take triangle, this is the base and this is the height. So its formula is basically area formula of a rectangle, a triangle is half base into height. So area is the amount of surface enclosed by a plane figure. Plane figure is anything which can be drawn on a piece of paper. It is basically your two-dimensional figures. And the SI unit of area is meter square, or you can say square meter. So 1 square meter is defined as the area of the square whose each side is 1 meter in length. So note this one important. What do you mean by 1 square meter? It is the area of the square whose each side is 1 meter in length. So we have discussed right now what is the formula for area of a square. It is side into side, and rectangle is length into breadth, triangle is half base into height. These are all your regular shapes, or you can also say plane figures. Now how to find the area of an irregular shape? Now we will discuss what are regular shapes and irregular shapes. Regular shapes means they have proper or definite length it is made up of, and irregular shapes, they do not have any proper length, breadth or any height. Now how to find the area of an irregular shape? It is found by using a graph paper. So if you come to your page number 4 and activity number 1, you will see that there is a leaf given to you, and you have to find the area of this leaf. This leaf is an irregular shape because it does not have a proper or definite length or breadth. So how we will calculate its area? First, we will count the number of full square boxes covered by this curve. So these are your full square boxes. You have to count these full square boxes. And then you have to count the half square boxes. For example, these are your half square boxes if you see. And you have to also count the number of more than half square boxes. So these are your more than half square boxes. Then what you have to do for the area of the shape, area of the leaf, you have to do number of full square boxes, then plus number of half square boxes, which is to be divided by 2, plus number of more than half square boxes. And you have to neglect those boxes which in which the curve is going by it is not more than half, it is less than half. So those boxes you have to neglect it. Then after adding it up, you will get the area of the shape required. You will get the area of the irregular shape. Next you come to volume. Volume, it is the total space occupied by an object, is called its volume. Object, you can say solid figure or three-dimensional figure. Three-dimensional figure or solid figure or any object. The total space occupied by an object, which is important. The definition of volume is important. So if you take these square boxes, and if you take one of the cube here, so each unit is taken as a unit cube and whose side is 1 meter in length. So this is a unit cube which has 1 unit in length, which is 1 unit in length, means this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, and this is 1 unit. So SI unit of length is meter, and now SI unit of volume will be meter into meter into meter, which is meter cube or cubic meter. For smaller solids, we use it as centimeter cube or cc. Now, to summarize volume, regular solid is founded by using volume of irregular solids are founded by using the formula, which is your cube has side into side into side or side cube, and cuboid, which is length into breadth into height. And for irregular solid, it is used by measuring cylinder, which we will discuss this later on. Before going it further, what do you mean by regular solids and what do you mean by irregular solid? So regular solids, what is regular solid, what is irregular solids? Again, regular solids, they have definite length, breadth and height. For example, this cube, it has a definite length, breadth and this height. This is an example of regular solid. But when you come to an irregular solid, for example this stone, it does not have any definite length, breadth and height. That is why it is an irregular solid. It is a three-dimensional figure, or you can say object, but it does not have a definite length, breadth or height. That is why it comes in the category of irregular solids. Measuring of volume of liquids. So it is known as your capacity. Maximum volume of a liquid that a container can hold is known as its capacity. This is also important from examination point of view, that is the definition. And these formula also you have to remember for numerical. And the volume of liquid measured in liters is measured in liters, that is capital L, and milliliters, that is small m, and capital L, ml. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter, or which is equivalent to 1000 centimeter cube, which is implies that we will get a relationship 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimeter cube, which is very important for solving the numerical formula. And for measuring the volume of liquids, we use different measuring cans, that is your conical measuring cans and cylindrical measuring cans. Conical measuring cans, they have different capacities. You can see that conical measuring flask, they are used to measure liquids like kerosene, petrol, and cylindrical measuring cans which have long handles are used to measure milk and edible oils. They have fixed capacity. Same way we also nowadays use measuring beakers or measuring cylinders. They have these types of graduations or markings on their walls on which the readings is written. Suppose if you take fluid till this level, and if it is written over here 10, so it is 10 ml. So graduations are made or markings are made on the measuring can, which is very much helpful. Now we will learn how to measure the volume of irregular solids, which is given on page number 7 of your book and activity number 2. First, we will take a measuring cylinder and we will pour some water into it. So we have poured some water into it, and this is the initial level of the water, which is denoted by capital V1. This is the initial reading of the water. Now what you will do, we will tie a stone and put it inside the water, that measuring cylinder, and we will see that the level of this water has been increased, which is denoted by V2. Suppose for example level 1, say it is 50 ml, and suppose after immersing the stone or after putting that stone inside the measuring cylinder, it is suppose 100 ml. Now for calculating the volume, we will say that it is final reading minus initial reading, 100 minus 50, that is 50 ml. Now you will see this is the volume of a irregular solid we are talking about. You will say that ma'am, this is ml, and solids have generally the mass is given or the volume is given in form of your centimeter cube or meter cube. So how it is to be calculated? So always remember 1 ml is equal to 1 centimeter cube, which is equivalent to 50 centimeter cube. So remember this formula, which is important. So with the help of a measuring cylinder, we can measure the volume of irregular solids. Now next we will move on to the topic of next is density. Density depends upon the packing of the molecules. Basically, if you see, if the molecules are tightly packed, they are close to each other, they are close to each other, the mass is more packed over here, so that is why it is more denser. It is a heavy object, you can say it is heavier, or the mass is more. And here if you see this packing, you can see the molecules are loosely packed and it is having a low density, or it is less denser, lighter object, or you can say light in weight. So a heavy object has more mass than a light object. More mass packed in a given volume means greater density. So in general, substances that have high density are heavier, and in general substances that have low density are lighter. Lightness and heaviness of an object is directly related to its density. So always remember that if you say the weight is more or heavy or light, it is directly related to its density. It totally depends upon the how the matter is being packed per unit volume of a substances. So that's how the definition of density comes. What do you mean by density? Which is very important. Density is defined as mass per unit volume. So density is mass upon volume, or you can say it is the ratio of mass upon volume. It is denoted by a symbol rho. This is something like curly P, you can say. It is known as your rho, and it is given by the formula rho is equal to mass upon volume. This you have to remember for numerical purpose. Now one more thing to note, that the standard unit of mass is kg. The standard unit of volume is meter cube. So the SI unit of density is kg per meter cube, or kg meter raised to power of -3. And CG system, centigram second system, density is measured in gram per centimeter cube, that is gram centimeter raised to power of -3. Now the relationship between kg per meter cube and gram per centimeter cube. If you take kg per meter cube and you convert it into gram per centimeter cube, 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram and 1 meter cube is equal to, it is 1 lakh centimeter cube. So means 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So 100 into 100 into 100, it is cube, so we will multiply it 3 times. So we will get 100 into 100 into 100 centimeter cube. Now if we do the cutting, 3 zeros will be cut and you will left with kg per meter cube is equal to gram per 1000 centimeter cube. And by simple linear equation, if you transpose this 1000 to this side, you will get gram per centimeter cube is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. This is very important relationship which you have to learn. And density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is also 1000 kg per meter cube, or 1 gram per centimeter cube. Density of other substances is also given in your book on page number 9, that is table 1.3. So basically density is mass upon volume. So density is used to compare the heaviness or lightness of two different materials of same size or volume. If we take two objects, for example, that is your iron and water, why the iron sinks in water? Because iron have greater density as compared to water. So iron will sink in the water. Similarly, it can be asked why iron is heavier than wood. Simply that density of iron is greater than that of the wood. Now we will discuss two more phenomena based on this density only. Equal masses, have of different substances occupy different volumes. So if you take in a measuring physical balance, one side 1 kg of iron weight and one side 1 kg of sugar, so they both have the same weight, same mass, but they occupy different volume. This is possible only because more matter of iron is packed per unit volume as compared to that of sugar. So matter in iron is more densely packed than sugar. So they are more densely packed. In iron, the molecules or the matter is more tightly packed, you can say, as compared to sugar. So that is why, in spite of having equal masses, you will see that they occupy different volumes. Now next activity you come, equal volumes of different substances have different masses. So when you take one glass of water and the other with another glass with kerosene, up to the same level, the same volume you have taken, and again you placed it on the beam balance, what you will see that the pan with glass of water goes down and the kerosene will go up. Despite they are having the same volume, the water has more mass as compared to kerosene. Why it is so? Because more matter of water is packed per unit volume as compared to kerosene. So matter in water is more densely packed as compared to kerosene. So you can see the molecules in water, the matter in water, they are more tightly packed, more densely packed as compared to kerosene. So when you place both having equal volume in a beam balance, water goes down and kerosene goes up. So this shows that the kerosene is lighter in weight as compared to water, and that is why kerosene floats on water. It does not mixes with water. Now we will discuss one numerical based on density. Calculate the density of water. Calculate the density of a body of mass 2500 kg that occupies a volume of 4 meter cube. So here, what information has been given to you? Mass is given to you 2500 kg and volume is given to you 4 meter cube. So density is mass upon volume. So that is 2500 upon 4. That is 625 kg per meter cube. This is very important, children, to write the unit in exam. Otherwise, there will be half marks deduction. So always remember to write the units of density, that is kg per meter cube. If suppose for example it is here, not instead of kg it is given gram over here, and here it is given centimeter cube, again you have to use the unit gram per centimeter cube. Now we will discuss another activity to determine the density of an irregular solid. So here again, this is an measuring cylinder. We will fill it with some water. Suppose say V1, the initial level of the reading of the water, and after immersing some stone inside it, the level of water increases. This is your V2. This is the final reading. So volume of the stone will be given by V2 minus V1, that is final reading minus initial reading. And again, for this the whole thing will be given in milliliter, and we will convert into centimeter cube by using the formula 1 ml is equal to 1 centimeter cube. And for finding out the mass, we will find the mass of the stone by using a physical balance. And then for density, we will use the formula density is equal to mass upon volume. Mass, all of you know, it will be determined by using a physical balance. It will be given in terms of gram or maybe kilogram. And volume, it's determined by this activity. It is initial reading and this is final reading. Final minus initial, we will get the volume of the stone, and by dividing mass upon volume we will get the density. Next is your concept of speed. Speed, it is the distance traveled by an object in a unit time, or by an body in a unit time, which is important definition. Then mathematically, speed is given by small v, distance by small s, and time by small t. So speed is equal to distance upon time. The formula is small v is equal to s upon t. This is very important. So you can say distance is given by s is equal to speed into time, and time is equal to distance upon speed. And one more thing to remember, the SI unit of speed is meter per second. Since the SI unit of distance is meter and the SI unit of time is second, so the speed is having SI unit, the unit is having speed is having is meter per second. For fast moving objects such as car, trains, we use this speed, we express this speed in terms of kilometer per hour, km per hour, or we can also see kmph, kilometer per hour. Basically, motion of an object is determined by its speed, how fast or how slow it is moving. So we will discuss one numerical based on this formula. Calculate the speed of an object if it covers a distance of 15 meters in 5 seconds. So here distance is given, that is 15 meter, time is 5 seconds, and hence V is equal to S upon T, that is 15 upon 5. When we divide it, we will get 3 meter per second. Now we will discuss the exercise part. Take the most appropriate appropriate answer. First one is, the region enclosed within the boundaries of a closed figure is known as its area, and the total space occupied by an object is called its volume. And which of the following devices is commonly used to measure the volume of liquids such as petrol or kerosene? It is conical cans. And the density of substance is the ratio of its mass to its volume. And then, which of the following physical quantities is used to describe the motion of an object? Is called its speed. And which of the following relationship is correct? That is, distance is equal to speed into time. Fill in the blanks. SI unit of area is meter square, or you can say square meter. The area of a leaf can be found by using a graph paper. Each unit of space in a solid is taken as unit cube, and the liquids do not have a fixed shape. The density of a substance is the ratio of its mass to its volume. The distance traveled by an body in unit time is known as speed. The speed of fast moving object is expressed in kilometer per hour, or kmph, or kilometer per h. Then match the following. Area of a rectangle, it is length into breadth. Volume of a cuboid, it is length into breadth into height. Third, density. Density is mass upon volume. Speed of an object is distance upon time. And then speed of an speed is SI unit of speed is meter per second. Then the answer the following in short. Define the term area. What do you mean by capacity? It is given on here in the keywords, which you can see from here, or you can also see it from now. You have to write in one line these answers which we have discussed it right now. And this, why iron is heavier than wood for the same volume. We have just now discussed that because iron is having greater density as compared to that of wood. Now answer in detail. Explain how would you measure the area of regular shape using a graph paper. It is given on page number 4, activity number 1. You have to write the whole activity, and then write a short note on devices that is used to measure the volume of liquids. It is given on page number 5 of your book. This here is page number 5, and then page number 6 it is given over here. You can check from here. Then describe the method by which you can measure the volume of an irregular solid. It is given on page number 7. We have discussed also. We have taken a measuring cylinder, and the final volume minus initial volume you have to do. This is activity 2 of your book, which is given on page number 7. How can you compare the fastness or slowness of two moving objects? So we can say that by comparing its speed. How will you calculate the distance covered by a body if its speed and time taken is given? So we can calculate the distance by using the formula distance is equal to speed into time. Now next is solve the following numericals. It is given to you that the density of a solid of mass if it occupies a volume of 4 meter cube. So you have to use the formula density is equal to mass upon volume. Mass is 20 kg and volume is 4 meter cube. So on dividing it you will get the answer. The next is density of copper is 8.4 gram per centimeter cube and its volume is 200 What will be the volume of 200 gram of copper? So 200 gram over here is the mass of the copper given to you. This is your mass. So you will use the formula mass is equal to density into volume. And there is no conversion of unit to be done. It is given over here gram per centimeter cube. Here also the mass is given in gram. You will calculate the volume in terms of centimeter cube. The next is find the mass of 50 centimeter cube of silver if its density is 10.5 gram per centimeter cube. So again you will use a formula mass is equal to density into volume, because volume is given to you and this density is given to you. You have to calculate the mass. So here also no need to convert the units. It is already given in terms of gram per centimeter cube and the mass is given in centimeter cube. You will find the answer in terms of grams. Next is that a rectangular piece of wood measures 4 cm by 6 cm by 8 cm and has a mass of 20 gram. What is the density of the piece of wood? So volume we will calculate by using 4 into 6 into 8. Whatever you will get, you will write in terms of centimeter cube. And then mass is given to you in, that is 20 gram. So density is equal to mass upon volume, that is 20 gram upon whatever answer you will get from here. So you will get the answer in terms of gram per centimeter cube. So calculate the speed of the object if it covers 200 meters in 50 seconds. So all of you know that this speed is equal to distance upon time. So this is 200 upon 50. Now next question is express the train which moves at the speed of 60 km per hour and how far it will travel in 3 hours. So here speed is given to you and time is given to you. They have asked you the distance covered. So we will use a formula distance is equal to speed into time. The next is, and no need to convert the units because it is given in kilometer per hour and here hour is given to you. The answer you will find in terms of kilometer. The next question is how long will it take an object moving with speed of 5 meter per second to cover the distance of 20 meter. Here they have asked you the time. The speed is given to you and the distance is given to you. So time is equal to distance upon speed. You will divide and get the answer in terms of second. The next is a train covers a distance of 80 km per hour. How long it will take to finish the journey? So again, the distance is given to you, speed is given to you. They have asked you to calculate the time. So time is equal to again distance upon speed. By using the formula, we will calculate the answer in terms of hours. So this is the end of your chapter. For any doubt, just mention in the comment section.